There's one principle that is one of the main ikarim, essential principles of Kabbalah, that was expressed by the Arizal, and it is the Arizal's very succinct description of the divine paradigm. But the line, of course, is Olam Adam Gadol, V'Adam Olam Katan. Olam Adam Gadol. The world is a giant man. Adam Olam Katan. And man is a small world. Now, if we set these two sentences next to each other, we see we're describing a macrocosmic reality and a microcosmic one. Hashem, the world, is built according to the structure of man on a macrocosmic level, and man, each human being, is a miniature world. So there's this inflexive relationship that's taking place between the spiritual realm and the physical realm as we experience it inside our bodies. This principle is an idea that we come back to often when we're looking to connect individuals with a larger pattern of the universe. The Kabbalah is a description of how God creates the universe from the macro to the micro. Mitzvah by mitzvah, limb by limb, portion, part of the soul by part of the soul. The Kabbalah is constantly describing structures to connect the macro to the micro. The structure that we're going to relate to on and off, we always call the Eitz Chaim, the tree of life. Each tree of life is made of 10 traits that Hashem embodies, and then He bestows these traits to us through our souls. Now these 10 traits each have all 10 traits. So they're intercollusive, that is, all 10 contain all 10, so there's 100. Well, the first point I want to make before we go into the Zohar about Avraham Avinu, Bezrat Hashem, is that every human soul is different because of the variations in the lights of each soul. There are these 10 master traits. Everybody has them, but everybody has them in a different balance. Everybody is stronger in some and not as strong in other traits. Learning to recognize the different traits and then see them in ourselves and then see them in others, we begin to develop really a Zohar way of looking at the world. Now this is not to make us into Kabbalists or anything like that. Simply to use the tools that Hashem is giving us to look at the world in a different way. And this looking at the world in a different way can heal us from a lot of spiritual and theological problems. Now, so each part of the tree of life is a progression from top to bottom. We always speak of energy starting at the top of the tree of life, at the crown of the head, and going down from the head to the shoulders, the torso, the legs, and through the feet. That movement of energy from head to torso to legs is a progression, not only in us, because remember we're the little man, but in the entire universe. In the macrocosmic structure, there's the same migration, if you will, expression of energy from the head to the torso to the legs. And that development also has a historical pattern, which is called the 7 shepherds, who are the 7 fathers of the mystical tradition of Judaism. Of course, we have the 3 main fathers, but afterwards after Avraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, we have Moshe, Aaron, Yosef, and David, and those 4 make the 7 spheres of Zah. So what we've done here is, as we come down the tree of life, we're watching the development of personality through the development of our people. That we start with Avraham, and Avraham has a certain trait that shines more than all the others. Then we go to Yitzhak, and he has a trait that shines more than the others as well. And so on with Yaakov, Moshe, Aaron, Yosef, and David. Everybody has all the traits, again, but everybody shines somewhere else. This progression of the light, as it is expressed through Am Yisrael and through each of us individually, course, it's all also happening on the cosmic level in the non-spiritual plane altogether, where there is only light, where there's only Hashem's vessels and the lights that fill them. So you see that, again, it's a remez to this idea of Olam Adam Gadol and Adam Olam Katan. So that when we come to look at the life and the career and the personality of Avraham Avinu, and why he's called the first leg of the Kisei HaKavod, of the throne of glory, because he represents that first expression of God's light in the world, which is kindness, that the entire creation is an act of kindness.